Portugal is planning more spending cuts this year after the Constitutional Court blocked a plan to suspend a monthly salary payment to state workers and pensioners. Prime Minister Pedro Coelho says he will look for fresh spending cuts to keep Portugal's €78 billion international bailout programme on track following the court ruling which threw his government into crisis. Portugal's Prime Minister commented yesterday in Lisbon, "I will give instructions to the ministries to proceed with the necessary reductions in operating expenses to compensate for what was blocked by the Constitutional Court's ruling. The government does not accept more tax increases, which seems to be the solution the Constitutional Court favours in its interpretation." Passos Coelho is fighting rising joblessness and reduced demand from European trading partners as he cuts spending and raises taxes to meet the terms of the country's €78 billion aid plan from the European Union and the International Monetary Fund. On March 15th, the government announced wider deficit targets as it forecasts the economy will shrink twice as much as estimated earlier this year. The Constitutional Court's ruling delays completion of the 7th review of the aid plan, and the related payment of €2 billion won't be paid until that review is concluded, according to the Prime Minister. He says he will have to provide explanations to the Troika officials representing the EU, ECB and IMF. Prime Minister Passos Coelho says the government is committed to all the goals of the aid programme. "We will have to do everything to avoid a second rescue." The European Commission commented yesterday, "Determined implementation of the austerity programme is a precondition for a decision on the lengthening of the maturities of the financial assistance to Portugal. Any departure from the programme's objectives or their renegotiation would in fact neutralise the effort already made." Following last year's court ruling, Finance Minister Navjeet Grewal in October announced an enormous increase in taxes on wages and other income to meet deficit targets in 2013. Portugal has set a budget deficit target of 5.5% of GDP in 2013, 4% in 2014 and below the EU's 3% limit in 2015, aiming for a 2.5% gap. The deficit last year widened to 6.4% from 4.4% in 2011. The government estimates debt will peak at 123.7% of GDP in 2014. The government also plans to cut spending by about €4 billion until 2015. Reductions will come from spending on social security, health and education this year. That's all for now, but stay tuned to Dukascopy TV for the first targets in focus of the new trading week and for all the latest financial news brought to you by the TV team. For now though, goodbye.